Hey, fancy meeting you guys here. My name is Beckerman, and I have depression. I was diagnosed about 5 years ago, and I've been on and off medication ever since. Now, a lot of people think depression is kind of like how you see in movies and TV shows, where it's a lot of exorbitant crying and screaming into the wind your long-lost lover's name or whatever. But it's not, generally. It's a lot more numb. Depression is kind of like you're hanging off the ledge of a cliff, and you have an anchor strapped to your feet. And some days this anchor is really small, and you can pull yourself up, and you feel the sunshine on your face, and the wind going through your hair, and birds chirping, and everything feels right because you're a part of it. You are where you're supposed to be. And then other days, the anchor is bigger, and you get pulled down farther, and you're stretched out thinner. You know, theoretically, that this sunshine and wind and birds and everything that you've seen before, it's still there, it still exists. Outside of this ledge, you have a life and family and friends and people that care about you, but you're not a part of it. You get pulled farther down into this monotonous void of gray where nothing matters because nothing is real anymore. You're so far down that no one can hear you shouting, and you're not even sure if there's anyone listening. Sometimes you get pulled down so far and you get stretched so thin and you don't even think the surface exists anymore, and you're not a part of anything because there isn't anything. You're just in this eternal little void of nothingness. And sometimes when people get to that level, they let go because they don't know what's at the bottom of this pit. They don't know where they're gonna land, but it's gotten to the point where feeling anything would be better than where they are. With depression, I fall into a category of people that are more likely to commit suicide. Every single therapy session starts with, have you ever been suicidal? Are you suicidal? Do you show any suicidal tendencies? People wear gloves around certain subjects because they don't know what reaction you'll have. They're worried what'll happen to you, and they're afraid to leave you alone. They're afraid to go anywhere without you because they don't know what you'll do by yourself. I have never once been suicidal. Not even in the capacity of, being 14 years old and not being allowed to go to the movies with my friends. So I'm like, oh my god, I wish I was dead. It's just never been an option for me. I mentioned this to my friend recently, and she said the reason is because I have hope, which I frankly quite liked. So while this anchor is pulling me down, I have a balloon strapped to my back, and it doesn't completely get rid of the weight of the anchor, but it feels a lot less heavy. There are some days when the balloon is bigger than the anchor, and there are some days when the anchor is bigger, but the balloon can never completely disappear because I'm the only one that can pop it. I have control over something, even if it's just myself. I'm a 19-year-old child with no real-life experience, no medical or psychological education, and no idea what you're going through in the slightest. And I'm not going to disrespect you or your problems by telling you that everything's going to be okay, everything always works out, because it doesn't always. I don't know what your anchor is, but you can't control the size of it. What I do know is that you can control the size of your balloon. And if there's even a small chance that one day I'll be lifted off this ledge completely, then for me it's worth hanging around.